How are you doing, guys? I hope everybody is fine today because we are hours away before we can first order our Heelys in the USA. How awesome is that? How long have you been waiting for this moment to get your Healy to your home? You know, some people for months, some people for hours, but you will get your Healy to your home in the next few days. So that's amazing. And what we're going to do today are not one webinar, but we're going to do 2 webinars for you guys so that you get all the information about Healy that you need. Oh, there is somebody that unmuted himself. Let me see. Then we got to do that. Should not happen. Okay. So, yes, we're going to do 2 webinars today. The first hour that we're now going to do, we're going to talk about Healy as a company and what amazing products that Healy has. Then we're going to do a short break, depending how long it takes me to finish this hour. And then about 20-minute break or something. And then we're going to do a second hour where we're going to talk Healy as a business and the compensation plan of Healy. So how can I make money with Healy? Either supplemental when I have a job or a business. For some people, it will be their main form of income or replacing income. And for a small group of people, they will get financially independent with Healy for sure. You just have to decide for yourself, it's going to be you or is it going to be somebody else? But that's up to you. So for those who never saw me before, my name is Christian Peters. I'm from the Netherlands, so I'm not American. But I'm doing this webinar because I'm with Healy now for almost over a year it is. February 2019, I got involved with this amazing company. I've been in this industry now for 12 years, had some great, amazing companies that I was able to work with until I found this gem in the industry, because this is a true gem in the network marketing industry. Why? Because it's frequencies, and frequencies is something that has never been done in network marketing before. It's a first. So some people call that a category creator. Well, I hate that word, but it is what it is. You know, and you guys are so lucky to be on this call with us all, because then you're also called the first movers. That's what you are. You are the pioneers for the American market. And it is so crazy because I used to work with companies that came from the US to Europe, and we built them up in Europe big. But now we're going to come from Europe to the US, and guess what? Together, we're going to build it big in the US as well. And I'm looking forward to that journey with each and every one of you. And yeah, you know, I've not always been in this industry. I'm an architect by profession, a real estate developer, something totally different. Did that for 20 years and amazing time. Also earned good money. That's what you can say. And in 2008, I was in a phase in my life that I was thinking, you know, is this all there is? You know, work hard, play hard, as they say, you know, working 80, 90 hours a week. Some of you will recognize that. And earning good money, but no time for nothing. So I was starting to look around, what else can I do? And I went on the internet, Google, and I found network marketing, because that's the amazing thing of the internet. You know, you can find everything on internet. If you're looking for an opportunity for a way out of something, you can find it on the internet. If you are looking for an escape to say no, then you're going to find it on the same internet. So that's brilliant of internet. So I was looking for a solution and I found it. I just not recognized it at once, I have to be honest, because, you know, we are taught differently to look for different things and not for network marketing. So I was invited to a meeting, like, you know, back in the days, how they did that. You came to a hotel room and there were big banners, loud music. You saw it here on my call as well. And yeah, there was a guy up front and he started talking about nutritional supplements. The only thing was they did not inform me about that. So I didn't know where I was and where I landed. And I was about to walk out. But the person that invited me said, you know, stay for the second part. It will be amazing. It will be about business. That's more up your sleeve. So I said, okay, I'm here anyway, so I will stay. And thank heaven that I did that, because, you know, otherwise I may be passed out of the opportunity that has now changed my life already for so many years. So I started after some research. That's when the troubles began. because I was not teachable. I was not willing to listen.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see how we can fix that. I think there is a glitch in. Let's see. So now we've muted everybody. Yeah, my starting in network marketing was not easy because I was not teachable. I was not willing to listening to the people that are very successful already in this industry. I was the know-it-all guy. Everything could be done differently. Everything had to be changed. They don't have to tell me anything. That type of people. That was me. So I had no success. It lasted for 3 years. And in 2011, there was another crisis. Maybe you guys remember that, the financial crisis. So then I lost about 80% of my revenue in 6 months' time in my other businesses. And the world was not so funny anymore. If you cannot pay your bills and you get those companies behind you that want money from you, you know them. And that's not funny. So I had two choices, either go bankrupt or start listening to the people who were already successful in network marketing and start listening to them. And I did the second thing. I started listening, and in about 1 year's time after that, I was at a level that I earned in network marketing part-time as much as I was used to with my two companies full-time. And that is a place where I want to bring everybody in network marketing, because then you have options. Then you can make choices. Because if we are really honest to us, most people in life don't have choices. They have to work, because if they don't work, there's no money coming in. And if there's no money coming in, problems will coming up, right? So if you have a choice that you can decide what you're willing to do, I think that's a great place in life. Then you won, in my opinion. So that's where I want to bring people in network marketing. And whatever you decide, that's your choice. But come to a point where you can make choices. So now, after that, we are now 8 years down the road. I was able to work with some great companies in this industry. I was able to learn a lot, build structures in 27 countries all around the world. And like I said, since February last year, involved with Healy World. An amazing journey, a new company. People say a startup. From the business perspective, I guess that's true. From the product side, however, not, because this company has over 15 years of product experience behind it. I will show and tell you that in a minute. And also from the business side, I don't believe it's a real startup. Technically, yes. But if you see what people are behind this company, they have such amazing experience and results that, it's no guessing if this company will become successful. It's a done deal. It's just a matter of time to prove it that we are right. That's the only thing. So that's a little bit about me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And if all goes well, then you're going to see my PowerPoint now. And hey, that's me again, without a beard. And in Healy, I am an Healy World Director. That's a certain rank you can achieve in this company. And I'm going to talk about ranks, etc., the business part in the second part of this two-part webinar today. And next to that, I am in Healy World. In Healy, I'm an Healy head of Healy Academy Development, meaning that I work together with the company to create a training system for every Healy World member to build their business bigger, faster than they already can with the current situation. But I'm a firm believer in training. So I believe that, a highly trained team is a highly paid team. That's what I believe in. And that's what we are working on. So before we start this webinar, I have to make a little disclaimer, because this presentation is a European presentation that we transformed into a US presentation. We are waiting for the final versions from the company. So maybe not every term, maybe not every number that in this webinar is might be correct or according to the US rules and regulations. So that's why I have to make this disclaimer that some things may not be according to the US rules and regulations, etc. So I apologize for that. We are working on that very, very hard to make everything in order. And we will get there, but for now we have to do it. So I thank you for the understanding that I have to make that disclaimer. What I want to start this webinar with is a video about frequencies, because Healy World is a frequency company. We work with frequencies for human use, but also for animal use. And I think everybody knows that there are frequencies. But how do you use that for humans or for animals? Maybe that is something that not everybody knows. So I think this video explains this very, very good. And therefore, I want to invite you to watch this 2.5 minute video with me so that you get a little bit more of an impression what we mean with frequencies.
One of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, the genius who lit the world, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Say you are listening to the radio in your car and do not like the music that you are hearing. What do? You change the frequency. What many people fail to realize is that we can take charge of our frequencies in the exact same way. We tend to reduce our body's anatomy down to a simplified version that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything, all our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. You always want to be healthy, active, and balanced. That's what makes up Healy. With a quantum sensor that uses individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas of your body. Researchers like Dr. Carolyn McMadin and Nuno Nina have in their clinical practice the effect of tens of thousands of such frequencies studied and tested. The result of these decades of experience is now available to you, 144,000 gold frequencies all day, with an intuitive app that puts the future into your hands. Welcome to Healy World. It's not science fiction. It's science.
Yeah, welcome to Healy World also from my side. So I hope that now you have a little bit of an impression on what we mean with frequencies when we talk about Healy. And today we're going to talk about the social selling revolution, because Healy is not your typical network marketing company. Why? Because we want to do things a little bit different. I believe that, network marketing is not direct sales. So you should be more social. You should be more of a relation type builder. And the term that they found for that was social selling. So that's what we're going to talk about, Healy and you. What can Healy mean for you today? Of course, we're going to show you the products of Healy. And in the second part, as I explained to you, we're going to talk about the business model and the compensation plan of Healy. Healy World to me is a community of like-minded people that are interested in health, with a healthy, active lifestyle, and with great products from this company, Healy. And we have three major product lines, and I'm going to show them every one for you today. But I want to start with our Healy itself. It is the core of what we do. And sometimes a video says more than 1,000 words. So that's why I want to show you this video, so you can get an impression on Healy, but also in how many areas you can use the Healy, because we have over 120 different programs. So in 120 different areas is where you can use the Healy. So you don't have to have a bottle and a shake and a juice for several things. No, we have an all-in-one solution with Healy. And let's watch this video together. And afterwards, then probably we'll say, yeah, now I get it what Healy is.
first smartphone-controlled wearable that provides easy support in all important areas of your life with the use of frequencies. Healy analyzes the frequencies you need right now. Then the smart wearable applies subtle currents and individualized frequencies to your body via its electrodes. It strengthens your balance and harmonizes imbalances. Fitness, health, and inner and outer beauty. Healy has 120 programs to provide energetical support for you, for your body, and for your cells. Every single cell in our body is a small power plant that constantly produces energy. One thing is particularly important for this, the natural cell membrane voltage. And this is where the Healy comes in. With Nuno Nina's Gold Cycle programs that focus on rebalancing your cells. Healy also has suitable programs for many other applications on board. Programs for the treatment of headache or back pain, but also for learning, concentration, or exams. Healy can even support you with depression, sleep disorders, and stress. The Healy Beauty programs are supposed to support your inner and outer beauty energetically. In sports, the Healy is meant to promote performance, muscles, and regeneration. At home or on the go, in your leisure time or at work. In our opinion, health begins with good balance in all areas of life. This is what Healy stands for, state-of-the-art wearable technology, made in Germany to the highest standards. Based on use by 2,000 therapists worldwide, who have seen as many as 500,000 patients. Healy, for me, and for you, and forever.
So hopefully you saw now how versatile Healy is. In how many areas can you use the Healy? And that's, of course, is a game changer to me, because I don't know too many products who are that versatile, that you can use in so many different areas. And if, like with every product or concept, there is a person who has to start it, who has to invent it, who has to be the genius behind it. And with Healy, that's Markus Schmiecke. He's from Germany. And Markus is, to me, a very remarkable man, because he has two extremes in himself. And on the one hand, he is a scientist, so he's very analytical. And on the other hand, he is also very spiritual. He was a monk in India for 11 years, for example. So not all too often you see those two extremes in one person. But with Markus, you do. So he was looking for a way how he can combine those two worlds. And he found out that frequencies was something that perfectly worked in both worlds, because scientists can work with frequencies and spiritual people can also work with frequencies. So he even went so far that he found he invented a machine to help people and treat people with frequencies. And he called that machine Timewaver. And there's also a company called Timewaver. That's our sister company. And with the Timewaver machine, only or mainly therapists are working, because it's an extensive training that you have to go through to operate that machine. So it was highly effective, but there were also some little hiccups with it, and mainly because, not everywhere there was a Timewaver therapist. So if you wanted to have a treatment, you had to travel for it. So that is expenses and time, etc. The treatment was also not that cheap. So that comes on top of that. So in short, it was not available for everybody. So he was thinking, how can I change things, and can I make it more available for more people? Another person in Healy who is very important, Portuguese doctor, and he is the doctor of a lot of celebrities in Portugal, soccer players, and also from people who are cannot be helped anymore in the traditional medicine. So they were looking for alternatives. And if you do that on a global level, then probably you're going to end up with Nuno Nina, because he's a real authority in that field. And Nuno Nina has a gift that when he sees people, he knows immediately what frequencies that person needs. And that's beautiful, but only he has that gift. So he has 7 private clinics in Portugal, and his therapists in that clinic do not have that gift. So they were always coming to him asking, Nuno, we have a patient here. What should we do? We have another person here. What should we do? So that drove him a little bit crazy. So as Marcus and Nuno got to know each other and later on became friends, they also start sharing, their little things about their companies and their work. And then they found out, Marcus had that thing that he wanted to make that frequency more available for the people. And Nuno wanted to find a technical solution so that he could, transit his gift into something technical. So they joined forces, and basically that's the birth of what we now call Healy. And this is Healy. It's 5 by 5 centimeters, very small. It has a clip on the back so that you can put it on your shirt or your blouse or your t-shirt, whatever you wear. So it's a wearable device. And that was one of the things that they thought about. Can we not develop something that is easy to use for people in the comfort of their home without having to have medical knowledge or technical knowledge? And, after 4 years of development and 25 million euros in development costs, this is the result. And they took also a 2-year trial period, mainly with the Timewaver therapist, so they could get rid of all the bugs and the things, so that they were sure that when they put it on the market, that it was working and functioning like it should. So basically in January 2019, Healy was launched into the world officially. So now a little over a year. And the company started in Europe and quickly expanded to Asia. And now 1 year later, we are knocking on the doors of the US, and we are about to open the US market. As of tomorrow, the people who are registered already can order, and the other people can start ordering from the 11th of May. But I will come to that later on in this part. Another person that is very important to Healy is Christian Halper. He's from Austria, and Christian is a banker in his former life, I always say. And he decided to change his life, and he sold his stock to his partner, became a multi-billionaire by it, and decided only to invest in health, in green and sustainable and durable projects. And one of those projects he invested in was Timewaver. So as Marcos and Nuno got together and got the idea of Healy, of what we call Healy now, they went to Christian to ask, probably this is going to cost money. Are you willing to become our investor in this endeavor? And Christian said immediately yes, because he saw the potential that if, millions and millions of people can get frequencies in the comfort of their home, what that would mean to the health situation of a lot of people. And, I always say the main objective of all those gentlemen is not money, because all those gentlemen have more than enough money than they can ever spend. So this is a company where it's true about the health of people. And of course, make no mistake, this company has to make money, because otherwise they go out of business, and that's not fun either. But it's not an objective to make more and more and more and more money. And that's what I like about this company. And that's what you see when you get to know Healy and you learn the culture of this company, then you recognize that. So in late 2018, they were at the point that they were almost ready to launch. And then they thought, what is the best business model for us to use? Because they used already, they tried it out with the doctors and the therapists to launch it, but that did not work out so well. Sorry, docs on this call, but doctors are not always that commercial and marketing-wise, brilliant. So that did not work as expected. Then they tried to sell it online. That did not work either, because our starting basic product starts at $500 approximately. So yeah, who's going to buy a device that you don't know, that you pay $500 for, and you cannot even touch it. So most people will not. So online was also not the best way. So Marcus did some research and he found network marketing as a possibility. But he didn't know so much about network marketing. So he invited one of the largest consultants in network marketing worldwide, Dirk Zalman, to come to his castle in Berlin. And, Dirk came and, got introduced to Healy. And to make a long story short, he fell in love with the product. He saw such amazing potential with the Healy that he made a drastic decision. He said, what I'm going to do is I don't want to be your consultant. This product is too good, and this product deserves to be placed in the market in the right way, because there are so many great products out there, but most of the time you never hear anything from those products because, before they see the daylight, they're dead already, because the inventors or the people behind it are not so good in business, and then it doesn't work. So Dirk said, what I want to do is I leave my company, my consultancy company, to my employees, and I will make myself available for the next few years to guide this company all the way till it's in the market at a stable place where it can run by itself. And I found that a remarkable decision, because, why would you leave a multi-million-dollar company, producing company for you, to go with a startup with a device that nobody knows? So apparently he saw something that we didn't see at that point. And now I know what he saw, because, this is an amazing opportunity if we see it in the same way. So these are the 4 most important people in Healy. Healy has 3 main offices. It's a German company based in Berlin, and that's where our headquarters is. It's called Castle Kranzlin. And this is also where our development department is at home. And it's also the private home of Marco Schmieke. So in one of those 2 towers is also his private home. Then we have a second office in Berlin in the center at the Potsdamer Platz. That's right in the center of Berlin. And that's where our IT department is at home. And then we have a third office in Wiesbaden. That's near Frankfurt. And this is where the sales department and the finance department is at home. So these are the main 3 offices. We have more offices around the world. In some countries, when you want to do business, you have to start a company, have an office, have a GM, etc., etc. So if this is necessary, then the company will do that. So we have offices in Izmir, Turkey, in Ukraine, in Kiev, in Mumbai, in India, for example, and another couple of offices around the world. And this number is still growing, because as we expand as a company into new countries, probably we'll get new offices as well. So in the vision of Marco Schmieke, we have 3 pillars that we founded our vision on. And we started with bringing to the market our Healy. If some of you heard Dirk Zalman speak on the Frequency Friday call, then you heard him say, first we wanted to get people to know the Healy. So that phase we had late 2019. And then we started the second and the third pillar being our Healy Watch. So motion for life and nutrition for life, digital nutrition. And to me, that's the most amazing thing I ever saw, digital nutrition. And I will explain each and every pillar to you more in detail. So when I come to digital nutrition, you will see that I will get more excited, because to me, that's the real game changer that we have. So currently we have 4 apps and 2 hardware devices, the Healy itself and the Healy Watch. And they work together with an expert database, our Timewaver therapists and other doctors that advise Healy in the medical advisory board, artificial intelligence, and that all together is what we call the Heal Advisor Cloud. So we are a high-tech company. We work in the cloud, we work with apps, we work with artificial intelligence, and this complete system is what experts say about that we have 8 to 10 years ahead of any other company in the world that does something with nutrition, with frequencies, with wellness trackers, or whatever. And can you imagine, in our current time, 8 to 10 years ahead? That's light years ahead. Because if we simply go back, what do we all use now that we did not have 8 years ago? Well, if you are in Europe and America, WhatsApp. You have heard of WhatsApp. If you are in Asia, WeChat, Messenger. That's all things that we did not have or very limited 8 years ago. Now everybody is using it. So to me, this is the next WhatsApp in a different form. But now almost nobody knows about Healy with frequencies. Yeah, maybe 50,000 people around the world, but that's nothing. You know, there are network marketing companies who have millions and millions of distributors. So 50,000 is really, really nothing. But after 1 year, it's amazing. But can you imagine that if we can do 50,000 people in 1 year, what can we do in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? So that's the vision I have. So I cannot wait till we're 5 years down the road and see where this company is all around the world. And that's the vision, you know, we want to put at least 100 million Healys into people's hands. So that's a big task. We are at 50,000 now, so we have to go to 100 million. So there is enough work to do for all of us to make that happen. And one of the most genius decisions that they made, in my opinion, is that they made the Healy operated by your mobile phone. Because everything we do almost in our life now is on our mobile phone, right? And it's not going to get less in the next few years. It's only going to get more in the next few years. So if you can now steer and operate your health on a positive way with your mobile phone, and that's what I always say, close your eyes and think about that for a few seconds. Man, that is amazing. There are so many opportunities that we even don't know ourselves that will going to come in the next years. But it gives us such unlimited opportunities to develop new products, new systems. And, you know, that's the future. And that's our future in Healy. So how does it work with the Healy? Well, first of all, I want to explain to you the disclaimer. So what you see right now is the European and basically the global disclaimer that we have. Healy is a medical product. So we are certified by a German authority as a medical class 2A product. But this webinar is not for the German or the European market. It's for the US market. So for the US market, we have a different disclaimer because the US has a different set of rules that we have to apply by the FDA. But we are in the US in all 50 states, also a medical product with an FDA clearance class 2. Excuse me. So we have an FDA clearance class 2 in the USA. Question: how many network marketing products do you know with an FDA clearance class 2? None. So that makes us special again in that perspective. So, you know, this is a lot of text. I'm not gonna read it out aloud for you guys, but of course this is available in your back office, so you can get it. And if you don't get it, just send me a message and we'll get it for me. And this is really, really special that we have that FDA clearance. And in most countries that we are in, all over the world, currently 45, we have that medical certification. So that's really awesome. And that makes us very, very special. So as I got to know Healy a little over a year ago, and I saw this slide, basically I was sold because I am a businessman and, you know, I'm a facts and figures guy. So if you tell me, you know, this is a product with over 500,000 applications already in 40 countries with 2,000 users, then instantly I know that product must be good. Otherwise, you cannot produce those numbers or you have to lie. But if the numbers are true, then it has to be good. So I was sold already. But there are a lot of people that are a little bit different than me. They go more by their feeling. So they want to know and feel things. So for them, we have developed a system that I'm going to explain to you in the second hour so that you can see how we transit that also into a business model, the social selling part. A question that I get a lot from people, and it's a legit question, is that they say, Christian, can you tell me a little bit more about how that works with frequencies? And I always say, you know, I'm not a medical person. I'm an architect. So don't expect fancy medical language from me because you're not going to get it. But this is what I can explain. You know, this is a graphic developed by Mr. Becker and Mr. Nordenström. And those two gentlemen found out that if you have a healthy cell, that healthy cell has a cell membrane voltage of minus 70 millivolt. Please don't ask me how that works. I have no clue, but that's what they found out. Then if the cell grows older, the cell can face problems such as pain, inflammations, or even a tumor. And what that basically means is that the cell membrane voltage goes down. You see the example, a tumor cell has around minus 15 millivolt left. So if it goes worse, then the cell dies, and too many dead cells in your body, everybody can figure out that's not good. So what can we do with frequencies? With frequencies, we can up that cell membrane voltage again, but not unlimited. So we cannot go from minus 15 up to minus 70, a healthy level again. That's not possible. But from minus 15, maybe we can go to minus 20, 25, maybe 30. It depends on every person because every person is different. So we cannot take away that tumor, as the example said. But maybe we can lower the effects that that person has from the tumor and therefore raise the quality of life from that person. And I think that has a certain value as well. And on the other hand, you know, if you feel a little cough coming up tonight and you take the right frequencies, then perhaps tomorrow you will be fine again, so you will not be sick tomorrow. So it always depends on how low is the cell membrane voltage gone. That determines what we can do with the frequency. Another thing that happens when you talk about frequencies is that your amino acid transport goes up by 40%. That again leads to the fact that you increase your protein synthesis up to 70%. And that leads to the fact that you have a 500% more ATP production in your body. ATP is a difficult word for energy. It's made in your mitochondria. You know, all the docs on this call, they know that better than me, but that's what I learned. And I always apply to common sense. I know that's difficult, but sometimes it's very useful. So can you imagine that if you get 500% more energy in your body, that you would feel that? Common sense would say yes, right? So now you can see how easy this business is. Because my question is, how many people do you know that are looking for more energy? My estimate is half of the world population, at least. Why? Because I see millions and millions of people drinking coffee. You know, they cannot get awake in the morning without, I don't know, a half a liter of coffee, whatever. If you go to the average supermarket and you see all those youngsters coming out with all those energy cans, you know, I will not call the name, but you know what I mean. So whether that's healthy or not, I will leave that in the middle, but that does happen, right? So people are massively searching for more energy. So now our system becomes very easy because you just have to approach a person that is looking for more energy. Just look at his coffee, just look at his energy drink, for example, and say, can I ask you a question? Would you be open in testing another way of getting energy into your body that goes up to 500% in a healthy way? That's not too difficult, right? So some people will say, no, I don't want that. Well, that's fine. You know, we will not see everybody. That's okay. But some people will say yes. And you just let them test the Healy and see if it works for them. And then I have to tell you a little secret. And the little secret is that we have a 96% customer satisfaction with the Healy. I will repeat that. 96% customer satisfaction with Healy. Okay, how much products do you know that have a 96% customer satisfaction in network marketing? None. It doesn't exist. Because in network marketing, if you have a really, really good product, and I feel fortunate enough to have worked with companies with really, really good products. But if we had a 35, 40, 45, maybe % customer satisfaction, man, we were good. We were a high-end product, right? So here we have a 96% customer satisfaction. So if you let people test the Healy, well, I cannot guarantee it, but it's almost the same for, you know, that somebody says, whoa, this is working. And it is working. That's why we grow so explosively, because everybody who gets the Healy in their hands and uses it is almost enthusiastic about it. Not everybody, but almost everybody. So let's look at the Healy. So in Healy, we have 3 application modes. The first one is called adhesive electrodes. They look like this, those little pads that you can put on your body, so 10 to 15 centimeters from each other. And then the frequencies will go from one pad to the other pad, and you can treat something very local, like a tennis elbow or a sore knee or back pain or muscle pain, something like that. The second option that we have are bracelet electrodes. I have them on. You put them around your wrist, and you can disconnect them and connect them. And then the frequencies flow from one wrist through your arm, through your upper body, to your other wrist. And then taking everything in your upper body with it. So your organs and everything that's in there. So that's about 80 to 85% of all our programs use that that bracelet electrodes. Then we have a third option that's called the ear clip electrodes. They look like this. You can put them on your ear. And then the frequencies flow from one ear through your head to the other ear, where we can treat or help with migraine or chronic pain or focus, learning, that kind of things. But there is one thing. The US law doesn't allow us to use the ear clip electrodes. So what we have to do is, for every program that says ear clip electrodes, we have to use the adhesive electrodes. So the company is working on a solution for that. I know they are close, but not there yet. And we did not want the launch wait for that solution. So that's why we started with this option. You know, we cannot give the ear clips in the US, but we can use the adhesive electrodes, and they gave more or less the same effect. So that's just for your information. So I said in the beginning, we have 120 different programs. So how do you know which application mode you should use with what program? Well, Healy made that very easy with pictograms. And that's what you see on the left side. You see that lila example. It says depression. And it says, it shows a hat. And you have to use the ear clips. Well, for the US, we cannot use the ear clips. So we have to use the adhesive electrodes, right? So we know that now. In the yellow example, it says balance. And there it says you have to use those bracelet electrodes. And if you have something local, ischias, here's the example, then you should use the adhesive electrodes. So you never have to guess what application mode you should use. You just have to follow the pictogram that is shown in your screen of your mobile phone. Isn't that easy? I think that's brilliant. That's easy, because everybody can now work with the Healy without having to have any medical knowledge or technical knowledge. And that's a good thing for me, because I don't have medical knowledge and I don't have technical knowledge. So I can use with the Healy perfectly. Another thing that makes the Healy very special is that inside the Healy there is a quantum sensor. And this quantum sensor makes that in the first 5 to 9 minutes of every program that you use, your body is being checked on the topic of the program that you chose. So for example, if you choose migraine, then in the first 5 to 9 minutes, your body is checked on frequencies in regard to migraine, which are wrong, which can be more effective, etc. Once the Healy found out which frequencies are not okay in your body in real time, then it goes back to our server in Berlin, because everything goes through the cloud, I told you, gets exactly those frequencies from our database of 144,000 frequencies that we currently have. And then in the remaining time of the program, about 40 to 50, 55 minutes, depending on the program that you chose, it will send every 10 seconds a frequency into your body. And that's what you see on your screen, because you see the hertz every 10 seconds change up and down in a certain algorithm. So once the cells have enough information, or they cannot get any more information, then they will stop resonating with the frequency, and then the Healy device will shut off. So that answers the question that I get a lot. Can you overdose with frequencies? Well, I don't know. I'm not a medical person, but what I do know is that it cannot happen with the Healy, because before that ever can happen, the device will shut off. So it can be that if a program should last 55 minutes, that after 52 minutes or 51 minutes, the program shuts off, because then your body has enough for that program. So that's basically how that works with every of our 120 programs that we have. So that makes the Healy a product for the whole family, because there is basically no topic that you can name that we have to say, oops, that we cannot do. So if it's about health or beauty, job, learning, fitness, whatever you want to talk about, we have a program for that on the Healy. And isn't that amazing that you now have a product that you can use so widely that you don't have to have for every different topic another bottle with a juice or a shake or a powder or a pill or whatever. So your medicine cupboard, you can clean it up now. You only have to have the Healy in it. And I would think that is a blessing for a lot of people, because a lot of people have those products, but they don't necessarily like to take them. But there is no real alternative. So maybe now you found the alternative in Healy. So let's look at our Heal Advisor app. And our Heal Advisor app contains an expert database. We have around 1,500 to 2,000 therapists, doctors, etc. behind Healy who advise Healy on topics, and who you can consult as well. Because we have a search function in that Heal Advisor app that you just can type in a question, and then you get back an answer from either a therapist live, or if that question is made multiple times before, then it comes into our FAQ session, and then you get the answer from the FAQ section, but it's still the answer from an expert. And there will always be cases that, that it's so special that we cannot work with the 120 programs that we have. In that case, you can also consult one of those experts. They will give you advice on what you can do. And in worst case scenario, they even write a totally new program only for you. Isn't that amazing? So if there is a very special case, you can have your own program written by one of our therapists only for you. And this is a service that I have not seen too many times with other companies as well. So again, this is an amazing feature that this company has. Like I said, you can search. So you can search geographically. I want to have the best therapist on migraine in the world. Well, maybe that person is in Tokyo or in Berlin. I have no clue, but you will get your answer. Maybe you want to have a therapist near you. Well, then you say therapist near me, and then you will give you a list of therapists in your neighborhood. That can be relative, near, but the closest to you. Or you just say, I have migraine, what should I do? And then you get a recommendation on what frequencies you can use to solve your migraine problems. So you can always get the answer that you are looking for. Another question that I get often is that people ask me, Christian, how reliable are those recommendations? And I always say they are very reliable, because the app is only the medium between you and an expert. Nothing more, nothing less. So if you put in a question, like I just explained, you get an answer back either from an expert live or from our FAQ session, where our answers there that already been done by the experts of us. So you always get an answer from an expert, and therefore I can say our recommendations are really, really reliable. Now I'm going to get excited because now we're going to talk about digital nutrition. And digital nutrition is something totally new, because with Healy, we have found all single vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and proteins, what their individual frequency is. Because if we can agree upon that everything has a frequency, then also a vitamin has a frequency, like a vitamin A or a vitamin D or magnesium or calcium or taurine or whatever. So the company found out what each vitamin, mineral, etc. has by frequency and put that in a system for us. And they also made some mixtures from it. So, for example, for hair care or skin care or weight loss or, 48 different topics currently, they made already mixtures with those vitamins. And that's really, really awesome, because I'm gonna share with you in a minute why. Now we have frequencies, but that doesn't dismiss you from eating as healthy as you can. Have enough sport, have enough sleep, have enough rest. Everything that a normal person should do. But in our current times, it's not always that easy, because we have our work, we have the family, we have kids, we have stress, we have corona, we have people getting fired, people dying. So that's not always helpful to help your body stay as optimal as possible, right? So what many people do already for years is take nutritional supplements to help the body become in a better shape, which is, I think, an amazing good idea. I did that for 11 years. So I will not bash that. But the technology has moved on. So now we have frequencies. And, I told you, we have every frequency of every vitamin, mineral, etc. We have that. So what's the main difference? If you take nutritional supplements, mainly you take them orally, right? Through your mouth in form of a pill or a pulver or juice or a shake or an oil or whatever. So one thing you know for sure, if you take 100% of a nutritional supplement in your mouth and it has to go through your body, through your stomach, to the final destination where you want it, not 100% of what you took will arrive at the place of destination, right? So experts say around 10%, depending on the quality of the product, etc. So to me, that's highly inefficient. But since we had no real alternative, everybody is doing that. But if you understand what we do with Healy, with the frequencies, we first measure in your body in real time what you need. Then we give the body back exactly what we measured, what it needs, in the place where it's needed, in the head, in the upper body, or local. So again, common sense should tell you that should be much more efficient than nutritional supplements. And that is true. We have a 90 to 95% efficiency. And another side effect from that is that because we can deliver those frequencies through the cloud on your phone, we don't have to produce bottles. We don't have to produce pills. We don't have to have acres with some kind of plant where juice comes from or whatever. We don't have all those transport movements with planes and trucks and lorries and what more. We don't have the package material for it. So I think we do something very, very good for the environment as well. Plus, we can deliver it cheaper because we don't have all those costs that I just described. So if we start understanding what this implicates, what this means, then, like I always say, all hell breaks loose in a positive way. Because if the world starts understanding that this is available, you would be out of your mind not to use it. Why would you pay more for something that's less effective and harming nature? Then something has to be wrong with you, right? But if you are a normal thinking person, if you can get something that's more effective, it's less in price, and it is good for nature, tell me one reason why you would not take that if you are already taking nutritional supplements. Because we are not here to create a market. The market is already there. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of people who take nutritional supplements. Just explain them the story as I just explained you. It's simple. And every normal person would say, oh, really? Yes, really, it's there. And then let them test it. Remember, 96% customer satisfaction. Let them just test the Healy and it's a done deal. So we are not in the hard sales that we have to convince people, etc. I hate that. That's not nice. But this is really cool. Just let people test it, tell them the story, and it's a done deal. Isn't that awesome? So our DNA is a monthly subscription model. So we work on subscription models. And like I said, we have 48 substances, so mixtures of vitamins, minerals, etc. already for you prepared. We have 72 individual vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and proteins defined. And we can even go so far that we can create a shopping list for you. Then we do a little test to find out what your body is look like. And based on that, we can recommend to you what products in the supermarket you should buy and what products you better not buy because they are not good for your body. Again, a service that I've never seen in this way before. So finally, from the product side, our Healy watch. You know, our Healy watch is looking like this. This is the Healy watch. And I always say, you know, I'm an honest guy. You know, I'm a designer too. So from the design point of view, if we look at the Healy and we look at the watch, you know, okay, I don't have to say it, but you know what I want to say. But it's about what they do. And if I told you what the Healy can do, but now what the watch does. What every wellness tracker does is they monitor body functions in your body, right? How much blood is pumping through your vein, your blood pressure, your sugar level, whatever, your heartbeat rate, whatever it monitors. That's great. But if you have another wellness tracker like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or a Hilo watch or a Samsung watch, for example, if they produce data from the measurement that they do with you, do they analyze the data from that? The answer is no. Why? Because they are not allowed to. Because they don't have a medical certification. You know, Apple is not a medical company. Google is not a medical company. But we have that medical certification, I told you. So therefore, we can and will analyze the data that's coming from your watch. And because we have an app, then we can make the watch talk to the Healy. So if we found with the watch something that is not okay, we can transfer that to the Healy, and the Healy can recommend you a frequency program to use to solve what the watch has detected. Where have you seen that before? Nowhere, because it didn't exist up until now. So again, you see what the level of technology and the level of importance is that we have with Healy. We have products in our hands that nobody has, and for years to come, nobody will have, where we can help thousands and thousands, if not millions and millions of people with it, and earn money with it, because that's not a bad word. It's just with what intention do you do it? With a bad intention or a good intention? So if it's a good intention, it's a good thing, right? So now you see how important these products of Healy are. So we monitor the body functions. We find for you the right programs to whatever the Healy watch is detecting to solve that in your body. We measure, we analyze, and we give you a built-in solution because the other products don't have that, like the Apple Watch, Fitbit, etc. So that's where we are set ourselves off from any other wellness tracker, because people will tell to you, yeah, it's the same, like, you know, no, it's not. It may look similar, but it does totally different stuff. And if we know that and you give that information, okay, then somebody says, whoa, if that's the case, that's interesting. And it is interesting. Measuring, analyzing, and finding the right programs by an app. We call it the connector app to connect. Then here you see what screenshots, what we have when you have the watch, what types of screenshots you all get. A lot. So when you have your watch, you just, you know, play with it. You find every step out yourself, and then you will find out it works like clockwork. Hey, that's a good one. We also have an SOS function, meaning that if something happens to you, you can leave 3 names of people with their data. That if you press the SOS button, that they are notified immediately and they can get help for you if this is needed. So we hope that you never have to use that. But if you do, then, you know, we have this button as well. We have a medical advisory board with, I believe, in total now 28 doctors on it. They advise the company on what new technologies, how to improve, etc. And currently we are in a phase that the doctors are lining up to want to be on that medical advisory board. So to me, that's a good sign, because, you know, they don't want to connect their name to a company that's maybe a little bit doubtful. So if the doctors start lining up, then it tells me, hey, that company must be good. Otherwise, they would not line up. It's pretty simple, common sense again. So Healy meets the highest standards everything we do is on science-based. Some people think or say, it's a little bit of hocus pocus with those frequencies, or it's placebo. Well, I have to disappoint you, because it's not. There's a lot of science going on behind it. It looks simple, and that's also what it should be. But there is a lot of science in the background going on to make it look simple. It's a made in Germany product, and that's a good thing, because if people hear made in Germany, often that has a quality value. So if we talk about Mercedes, then it's quality. If we talk about Bosch, that's quality. So if we talk about Healy, hey, that's quality. So good thing. And we have currently 12 patents and 4 patents pending. So Healy made the hardware and the software that they have also patent. And the funny thing is, if you look the patents up, then you see that the major companies in this world, like Google and Amazon and Visor, they all placed patents around us because they were looking what we are doing. Because every big company in the world is researching frequencies. But there is only one company currently out on the market having figured it out already. And that's the company that you're currently looking at. People say, Christian, can you prove that you have that medical certification? Well, yes, here is the European and basically the global proof. But we are in a US call. So for the US, we have the FDA clearance. And here is the FDA clearance. So everything is good. You have that document in your back office. So if you are a Healy member, you can just download it or print it, whatever, show it to the people, and then it's end of discussion. So finally, for this hour, our price and products. First, I want to show you what do you get when you buy a Healy. Well, Healy comes in a little box, similar size as an iPhone. And in that box, of course, there is the Healy. There are the pads, the arm bracelets, the ear clips. Well, not for the US. No ear clips for the US. We have the manuals in there. And what is really, really cool is that this company has made a so-called video brochure. It looks like this. And if you open it, then, this way around is better. If you open it, then a video starts playing.
Healy is different. And Healy is extremely versatile.
So we have 6 videos that you can choose from. Who is Healy? How do I take it out of the package? How do I install it? How do I use the apps? What programs do we have? So basically what they solved here is the biggest problem in network marketing. Because the biggest problem in network marketing is a new person coming in, excited about the product, then has to explain the next person how the product works. You know the story when 10 people tell a story and then it comes back to you? It's not the same story anymore. So that's what's happening in network marketing, and that's bad. That should not happen, but that's the way it is. So now we solved it because you don't have to explain anything to people. You just have them to let them watch the videos, and then, they know everything to work with the Healy. Isn't that cool? It's cool for me because now I don't have to explain anything to people. I just watch the video. So use the tools instead of your mouth. That's what I recommend to people. And for the people that are not so online affiliated yet, we have also the information in the brochure. So everything that we show you, you can find it in the brochure as well. So the first, that was the hardware. Now we go to the software. We call that editions. The first option that we have is called an Healy Gold. And with an Healy Gold, you get 7 programs and 1 program group of your choice. Which choice you can make, you can see in the next slide. And those 7 programs are pure care, balance, being, energy, relax, and release. And behind it, you can read what they are for. And in those 7 programs, all 144,000 frequencies are incorporated, but until a certain level. So I always use the example of release. It says pain. So all those common pains that we have, then release is great. But if you have a chronic pain for 20 years, for example, then probably release will not be sufficient enough. So therefore, we have a special program pain with a program chronic pain, and that goes much, much deeper. So again, use your common sense and think as logical as you possibly can. So if you want to have this basic version, then the price is $470 US, excluding the tax. So you have to calculate the tax in your state with that. Then the second option that we have is an Healy Holistic Health Edition. You get 8 more program groups in addition to what you get with Gold. that would be pain and psyche, bioenergetic balance 1 and 2, mental balance, meridians 1 and 2, sleep and skin. So if you want to have this edition, the price is $942 US. The third option is an Healy Holistic Health Plus. You get 6 more program groups, being learning, fitness, job, beauty, chakras, and protection programs. And basically with this edition, you have all the 120 programs that I talked of in 15 program groups. And the price for this edition is $1,413 US ex the tax. So basically a very good choice for health professionals, because then you have an Healy with all programs on it. So you can use it for patients if you want to, or use it for yourself, of course. But also if you're not medical like me, it would be a great choice, because then you can use it for yourself first. But if you talk to people about this business, you can also show them every program that we have. So that would be a great idea too. And the last option that we have is called a Healy Resonance. And with the Healy Resonance, you get an additional second app. And with that app, you can do 2 things. The first is do an aura reading. For those people who are into aura readings, that are people that when they look at you, they see a color circle around your head. And based on those colors, they can say something about your personality. Well, Healy made that digital. So you upload a photo or you make a selfie. Then you see that colors as well. You see that on the picture in the screen. And then the Healy tells something about your personality. And to me, that was hocus pocus. But I did it. And I have to tell you, I was shocked, even a little bit frightened about how accurate the reading from Healy was about me and my situation. So I could not understand it, but I learned that there is more between heaven and earth than I can probably understand. And that's a good thing. The second thing you can do with the resonance is a so-called resonance analyze, meaning that you can do a total body check in a couple of minutes. And then you know exactly from your body or whoever you do the analyze with, what's the situation in terms of frequencies. And Healy will recommend you a group of frequencies that you can use to solve whatever has been detected. So again, for health professionals, this is an absolute must, because now you can do in your practice a resonance analyze. Within minutes, you know what's happening with that person. Plus you get the recommendation from Healy. And then you can choose either to let people buy the Healy and do that at home, or you have a number of Healy in your practice and you do that in your practice. That's up to you. So this is an amazing tool for health professionals in their practice to create more business and more revenue, of course. And if you're not a medical person like me, I have the resonance as well, because if I talk to people, then I also do the resonance analyze. People are amazed. Whoa, do you know that about me? I said, no, not me, but Healy knows that. And, I let run a program or 2 in the conversation that I have with them. And if they notice that something is happening in their body, then again, it becomes an easy sell. So just to show you how easy this business can be. If you want to have this resonance edition, the price is $2,357 US. So currently we have the launch of the US. So we have a promotion. So for everybody who is coming in today, within, let me say, 4 hours from now, they have some benefits. You get a special promotion, meaning that if you buy a Healy Gold, you get an upgrade from the company to Healy Holistic Health. If you buy a Healy Holistic Health Plus, you get an upgrade to Resonance. So every time you do something, you get an upgrade from the company. So you can buy in Holistic Health, you get an upgrade to Healy Holistic Plus. So these are gifts from the company from $500 US. So you invest a little bit and the company does $500 on top of that. So this is an amazing opportunity to take advantage of. And we also have 2 business options for people who want to really hit it hard with Healy. And I will show you those 2 business options in the second part after our break that we're going to do soon. So if you are interested in a Healy, then please talk with the person that invited you to this call. Let them explain to you how the promotion exactly works and make benefit from it. We also have a business fee, and the business fee is waived for everybody who is coming in before 24 hours Central European time. So that's a little less than 4 hours from now. So if you want in Healy and you want to save your business fee from $49 US, then sign up today. Then you can order from tomorrow and you have those benefits. If you come in after 24 hours Central European time, then you can order from the May 11th. So that's what the people who are in before May 1 get as an advantage above the people that are after May 1st into the system. So let the details be explained to you by somebody who invited you to this call. They can explain to you perfectly how this works and take advantage of this promotion. You can also buy every program group individually. You see here the program groups and the prices. So if you come in with a smaller edition, then you can buy additional groups if you want to. And you see here the prices, what they will cost. Then we go to the watch and the subscriptions that we have. The watch is $250 exclusive to VAT. It's a one-time purchase, of course. So I think that's a bargain. If you look at the prices of other wellness trackers and this and what it can do, then it's a bargain. If you want to have the digital nutrition app, it's a subscription for $95 a month, which is a steal because I was used to take 3 supplements a month, paying almost $200 for it. And now I have the same products, but only more. I have that. And I pay only $95. So it's a no-brainer. The search app, if you want to have that, it's $33 exclusive VAT per month. And the connector app is $22 per month exclusive to VAT. So you can combine the Healy with the subscriptions and the watch however you want it. You can also choose a bundle for it. We call that the Watch Connect bundle. Then you get the watch plus the Healy Watch connector for 3 months. And that will cost $281 exclusive to VAT. Or you say, I want it all. We call that the DNNC bundle. That's the watch, the digital nutrition, the search app, and the connector app for 3 months. And then the price will be $617 exclusive to VAT. So you can mix and mingle however you want it. If you still have questions about it, get back to the person that invited you to this call. He or she can help you make the right choice in your situation. So finally, for this hour, I'm a little bit late. We did a survey under our users, and we asked, what is the main use for you in Healy? And the top 4 is pain, regeneration, health prevention, and stress. I think everybody can relate to that, right? But you see from the second video that I showed you, also a lot of other topics you can help, Healy can help you with. So it's a really amazing all-in-one solution for a lot of people. We also ask people, how often do you use the Healy? 80% say daily. And if you don't know Healy yet, then maybe you think, is that really true? But if you have a Healy, then you probably will agree with me that Healy becomes your best friend and you take it everywhere with you. And it's also a great conversation piece because if people see that thing hanging around your neck or on your shirt, people will ask you, hey, what is that? So you have, again, a conversation. Here you see the proof of my 96% customer satisfaction. 96% of our users state that within 1 to 3 times using the Healy, they have a small or significant improvement, or even their complaints are gone with the Healy. So that's amazing. So we have to take advantage of that fact. And finally, 94% of the people would recommend the Healy to another person. And from our business perspective, this is awesome because we live from referral marketing, recommendation. So if 94% would recommend the Healy, 9 out of 10, with what product did you work and how high was the recommendation rate there? It's easy. So I will show you in the second part how that translates into business. So guys, we're going to take a short break.